Welcome back to the Pursuit of Par episode 4. Those of you that watched us last week will know that this week's focus was on my hip rotation during my swings. After trying to practice my 5-wood last week and having not the greatest success, I noticed what I thought was a problem in my swing, and therefore I wasn't opening up my hips enough and I wasn't giving enough clearance when I was swinging, and that was causing me all kind of problems. This week I took a couple of drills from a couple of YouTube coaches whose names I will credit to later on, and stuck them into my swing, got on the range, gave them a try, and really felt out how to open up those hips best. So the first of those two drills that I did came from Giles Gill Golf. Apologies if I actually butchered the name. And it was involved putting a foam roller behind my lead leg. The idea behind this was that as you weight transfer from your backside through to your front leg, as your swing transitions, if you're doing it right, you're doing it fast enough, as you straighten that right leg, as you put your weight into it, it'll knock that foam roller over, and that's a great sign of good weight transfer. This worked from my very first swing. Even when I wasn't really focusing on it, wasn't really trying, I just put it there, swung casually, knocked that over every single time. So I don't know if that means I'm doing a perfect swing with hip rotation, or that's just not the right drill for helping me really feel that good weight transfer. The second drill I tried, and I apologise already here because I don't know where I saw this, I don't know which coach this was. It's not one I found through research for last week, it's one I saw many months ago and couldn't find again. But it involved putting an alignment stick through the front two belt loops on my shorts. This really showed and helped amplify where my hips are pointing through different points in my swing. So for starters, you can see here, the very top of my backswing, my hips are actually quite closed, and the left hip is nowhere near pointing down towards the ball as much as sometimes it should be, or some coaches recommend it be. So maybe there's a bit of extra power in my backswing that I could unlock there. On the forward swing, however, it's in a nicer spot than I thought it was. It really helps show that actually I'm opening them up a bit wider than I thought. And the two best swings I had of the day, I specifically remember slapping the back of my right hand with that alignment stick. So I really was opening up those hips and getting good clearance and bringing that alignment stick around and actually catching my hands with it. So that was a great sign. So I'm definitely going to use that drill a little bit more. So with that said and done and those clips out of the way, I think I'm going to rethink how I go about these future episodes. The idea was to do a lot more of these practice vlogs and really focus in on me improving my game before I got to Portugal. However, having edited a couple of these rain sessions now, I realise they're not the most helpful or educational because I don't really know what I'm doing wrong in the moment. I have to watch it back in the vlog afterwards, and even then I'm guessing at what's right and what's wrong really. When I'm at the range, I'm paying some attention to what the drills are doing, where it's at, but more often than not I'm just making sure I get all the right footage and not really practicing, so I don't think I'm making the most of that. And third of all, I know for breaking 100, especially when I'm in Portugal or even here, the biggest improvements I'm going to make is just smart play, just strategic shot choices and smart shot placement. So in reality, playing more rounds, getting out there and actually hitting 18 holes is going to be better for me for that, and it'll be more entertaining for you guys to watch and see, one, how my game improves, and two, just what it looks like to play as a 32 plus whatever handicap I'm at the moment. So while I might stick a few range practice sessions, a couple of drills on the start or the end of some of these episodes, I think going forward I'm going to focus on actual course vlogs, and that should help give things a bit more pizzazz and excitement to watch. But as always, this is a conversation, this is something I'd like to make as a sort of community collaborative piece, so please drop me any feedback you have in the comments, give me any thoughts, give me any pointers on my swing if you've seen things that you think need improving, or things that you see me doing that you've done yourself or fixed in the past yourself. Yeah, I'd very much want this to be something where we can all help each other grow, and even if it's something that I may not need, maybe there's something that someone else in the comments has been trying to struggle with, or someone else can learn from. So thank you for taking the time if you've made it all this way through, and again, even more thanks if you've liked, subscribed, followed, all of that kind of jazz and all the good old-fashioned stuff that the YouTube algorithm loves. I really appreciate you being here for episode 4, and for episode 5, hopefully I can get a round booked in this week and we can get a proper 18 holes, maybe 9 holes, we'll see how the timing goes, but we'll get as much golf squeezed in as we can for another nice big episode next week.